Hello, and welcome to another episode of Empowering Equality, the Inclusive Workplace and Supply Council of Canada, or IWSCC's podcast on all things supplier diversity. I'm your host, Alex Dirksen, and I'm super excited to talk with my guest today, Ashifa Jumani from Telus. Welcome, Ashifa.
Hi, Alex. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Good.
so great to have you here as a newer corporate member to the IWSCC. We haven't had as many opportunities as maybe some other folks I've had on the show to get introduced. So I'm really excited, especially to have you on the show just to get to know you a little more. So thanks so much for joining me today.
Great. Me too.
So when I think about Telus, I think it's easy to have a maybe a surface level understanding of Telus. It's such a large telecom company. I think of these stores like the outlet stores that I see in my neighborhood. I think of those classic Telus commercials with just some catchy music and some animals. And I think of telecom. I think of cell phone providers and so on. But I'm sure that's not the whole story with an organization that's as big as Telus. Can you tell me a little bit more about what Telus is and what Telus does?
Sure. Well, TELUS is a technology company with over 100,000 employees worldwide, and we provide services globally, and it includes our customer first philosophy, which really resonates with me, which is probably the reason that I stayed at this company so long. But besides the consumer and business wireless and wireline services it's known for. We also provide TELUS Health Services, pet care. We have an agricultural and consumer goods division
Wow.
and offshore services through TELUS International.
Yeah, so yeah, really branching out there. I think of my local cell phone store, but to think there's health, there's offshore services, so many different directions, and so many different opportunities to work with Telus. It sounds like as well. You mentioned that you've been there for a long time. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you found yourself at Telus and what you do there now?
Sure. I am a local Vancouverite. I graduated from UBC with a Bachelor of Science degree. And after working in healthcare and other industries for a few years, I started my career in procurement and have been doing that for 20 years. I've
Oh
worked at
wow.
Cinex, American Express, Pfizer, and now TELUS for the past 14 years. My team manages approximately 3 billion in annual spend at TELUS, and I have managed categories that include real estate, mobile technologies, customer premise equipment, home security, supply chain operations and fleet, finance, travel, marketing, and field services. Other
Wow.
directors on our team manage other categories, including IT hardware and software, health services, agriculture, and the resale divisions.
Holy moly. So, a large company, but it sounds like you wear a lot of hats yourself and have a lot of experience under your belt.
Mhm.
I'm sure that's probably a part of what makes you such a great fit for the supplier diversity space as well, getting to know so many different types of business owners from so many diversities who also work in tons of different industries and different categories. So, when it comes to working in the supplier diversity space with organizations like the IWSCC, what does supplier diversity mean to you, and what do you think it means to TELUS?
Well, I think it comes from the passion I have for DE&I. I am on the board of the TELUS D&I Advisory Council,
Okay.
as well as a chairperson on the Finance D&I team. I also lead supplier diversity at TELUS, as you mentioned, with a wonderful team made up of procurement individuals from each of our director groups. It is important to have a corporate presence with all the diversity councils in Canada, and our latest relationship and membership is with IWSCC. I've won quite a few awards in the last couple of years for the work that I lead at TELUS, building
Fantastic.
a strong program to support the diverse businesses in our communities. Awards are nice, but getting them for the work that you're passionate about is really something special and rewarding to me. And supplier diversity is really important for all of us to contribute to the economic growth and success of the diverse businesses in our community so that the people working at these businesses can thrive and so that we have competition in the business environment.
Yeah, it sounds like a real keyword that comes to my mind when I think of your history that you've so generously shared, and the businesses that we work with is recognition, is a recognition for the talents and the successes that come with hard work and experience. So that's so fantastic. So, Telus is a newer corporate member to the IWSCC. So, I'm very curious about your opinion on this. You mentioned that Telus has recently joined the IWSCC, but works with other supplier diversity councils and organizations like us. Can you tell me a little bit about what it means to be an IWSCC corporate member in your words?
Yeah, I think it is really important because these businesses are very underrepresented in the marketplace. So, being able to partner potentially with businesses that are owned by disabled members or by veteran members, I think is a really, really good opportunity. And I really look forward over the next little while getting to know some of these businesses and looking for opportunities for partnership with them.
Sure. I mean, so excited to hear that. I want to unpack that maybe a little bit. Can you tell me a little bit about maybe reasons why TELUS decided to join the IWSCC, or why TELUS wants to include more veteran-owned businesses or disabled-owned businesses in their supply chain?
Well, I think it's really important. I think that's the area that we could definitely do better at. I think most companies could do better at this. And because TELUS is such a diverse organization, and we have groups within TELUS that are, minority groups that are part of the gay and lesbian community. We also have a group called Abilities at TELUS, which are the
Okay.
representatives of any kind of abilities type people, as well as being able to ensure that we have processes and tools in place to make sure that we are serving our team members with any kind of disabilities. So I think it's kind of a missing piece of the puzzle to partner with companies that could potentially benefit from working with TELUS, and again, just contributing to their economic growth.
Absolutely, and it's no secret to us either. Of course, it's our wheelhouse. But the IWSCC, we're the newest supplier diversity council in Canada as well. So we're as much a part of the growing interest and the growing awareness of the capabilities of businesses owned by persons with disabilities or by veterans as well, and sort of the innovative qualities that come from lived experience, just like so many other diverse communities. um, our relationship on the business side of things, anyway, is TELUS is a corporate member, and a big part of the heart of that is that the IWSCC, for listeners at home who may not know, we certify businesses owned by folks with disabilities or by veterans to help get them connected with our corporate members like TELUS. And TELUS is one of our newest corporate members. We're so happy to have you be a part of our community. And we see that growth as well, that growing interest on both ends of the equation, with more business owners and more corporate members joining us every year. So we're so excited to see that growth and to be a part of it and to help support it. For a business owner who's listening to this and wondering, what certification means or how it can help them. From your perspective, how does being diverse certified help a business work with TELUS?
Yeah, we are constantly looking at opportunities to do business with diverse suppliers, and we've come a long way in our program. And I think that if the diverse businesses are able to compete in an environment where we're typically going to the usual suspects and doing business with them, but being able to have their own unique skill set or their own unique value proposition is going to be absolutely in their interest. Getting their elevator pitches down, being able to connect with the different corporate members, build those relationships, ask if there's opportunity. And what we've been doing recently over the last year is looking at our funnel for the following year, working closely with our business to understand what the projects are going to look like. And then we try to marry that up with diverse suppliers that may work in that area, and we connect with them. We'll have a discovery meeting to understand their business and see if it's a good fit. And then ultimately that leads to inviting them to participate in RFPs and RFQs, which is another thing I would recommend that the businesses learn how to do, is partner up potentially with a corporate member that can help mentor and guide you to understand what it means to be a partner to a corporate, so that they are not struggling through things like RFP responses, and learn how to do business with the corporates and understand what they really need and be able to meet those needs. I would also add, diverse businesses are so agile and flexible, and tend to be very knowledgeable in their area. And so that's a strength, and that's a strength for them to play up. And so when they are talking to any corporations, really lean in on that flexibility aspect, because for me personally, anytime I work with a diverse supplier, I find it's so easy to pick up the phone, call them. Things get done really quickly. It's always done to our satisfaction. So these are the superpowers, I would say, that diverse suppliers have.
Yeah, that's superpowers is a great way to put it. We over here at the IDBSCC, we talk a lot about the sort of like over, under, around, and through capabilities of diverse owned businesses. I know ambition and ingenuity and innovation are qualities that we always associate with entrepreneurs, especially small business owners as well, who have to kind of explore the ways to maximize their success, maybe with limited resources and limited capabilities, and to take full advantage of their experience with those limited resources as well. So then, when we combine that with diversity that maybe has put some barriers in front of you in your life, then that combined experience makes you so much more resilient and so much more innovative, as you said. So it really makes kind of a great package. It's almost a match made in heaven for entrepreneurship. So fantastic to hear about the passion for the superpowers of the diverse entrepreneur over at Telus. Do you have, you kind of mentioned like taking a look at the funnel and engaging in invitationals. Procurement can be a real behemoth. So I think, yeah, that's a great suggestion for small businesses to team up and to explore mentorship, and maybe check out organizations like the IWSCC to help you understand the big world of procurement as well, and find new opportunities for your business. Do you have any suggestions for a supplier out there who might be thinking of working with Telus or might be interested in learning more? What, I'm sure we can't go through the whole process, but maybe what are some good first steps?
Well, I think you definitely, with your membership, you're already on the list of suppliers that get provided to us, usually either on a quarterly or semi-annual basis. So I think definitely get your membership. That's important, so that that visibility is out there with all of the members. So as a corporate member, I will receive that list, and I'll be able to take a look at all the suppliers on there and explore them to understand the kinds of goods or services that they provide. And then I would definitely, even as a next step, go to the corporate website. So for ours, it would be telus.com/procurement, and you can
Okay.
register as a supplier there. And then that information gets downloaded to us in procurement as well. So when we do have a project where we're looking for goods or services, we go to our list of diverse suppliers. We always want to make sure we're inviting at least one or two diverse suppliers to any RFX that we have. Sadly, sometimes there aren't suppliers that fit into what it is that we're trying to accomplish, and so we may not be able to invite them, but it's actually a mandate for us, and we even score according to the RFP responses. If they're a diverse supplier, you automatically get points on our scorecard to be able to do that, and that gets you a higher score on the overall proposal. So that would be one of the things. Another thing is to go to events and network. That's really, really important. So there's conferences, there's matchmaking events, there's all kinds of things that go on that the organizations such as IWSCC puts on. And that is your ability to interface with the corporates. And so I go to many of these events, or people from my team go to these events, and we connect in with suppliers there, learn about them. That's where the elevator pitch comes in, right? Make sure that you have a really tight, very concise elevator pitch, because quite often these matchmaking sessions are only minutes long. And so you
Right.
want to be able to convey what you do in a really sort of practical but also concise manner, using simple language so that everyone kind of understands what you're about. And that way we store that information. We'll take notes, we'll take it back, and then we'll connect in with the business units that may have interest in working with that supplier depending on their value proposition. So I would say definitely do that. And then the other thing I would say is see if you can get a corporate mentor. You know, I've mentored businesses in the past. I've mentored many women-owned businesses, and they will come to me with questions from, can you just listen to my elevator pitch? Can you look at my deck and give me feedback on it? Can I, meet with you on a annual basis, just to touch base, or can I send you an email? Things like that. So if you have a mentor, you already have a connection in there. And then I share that information with other corporates as well. So, it's not necessarily about competition. It's about how can we help and serve the community that way. So if I can tell another, partner of mine that I've worked with this diverse supplier, had a really great experience. If you have a need for them, go ahead and contact them. Here's the name. So I think all of those things are all part of networking, understanding your own business really well, being able to pitch your business, and then connecting it with someone who can help you through, kind of the rough patches. And believe me, RFPs and RFQs are not easy to respond to all the
No,
time.
they can be pretty massive.
They can be, and complicated. So if you have someone that kind of walks you through the expectation on that, it can be really helpful and not so daunting.
Absolutely. Yeah. Wow. There's so many great suggestions. Get out there and network, understand your business, and honestly, it's another tip that maybe a lot of entrepreneurs might forget about from time to time. We'll put it that way: is that you're as an expert in your field. Sometimes we have to find the ways to still explain things to purchasers who may not be experts, and of course, that's such a huge part of why procurement exists and why businesses seek out subject matter experts and contractors and so on, is to gain that expertise, to gain that knowledge and experience. So don't be afraid to explain your business and your capabilities and what you can provide other businesses and your clients in simple terms, in straightforward language. I think that's another really fantastic suggestion that doesn't always get touched on. We're always doing our best to sort of represent our expertise and our knowledge, but maybe sometimes to our detriment as things go over folks' heads. So I always love to end these conversations off by getting to know my guests a little more on the personal side, especially like our corporate members. Sometimes large corporations can be seen as behemoths themselves, very mysterious hives full of busy bees, but they're full of people like Ashifa.
Mhm.
Who are just people too, working hard, making partnerships and networking and mentoring, which is so lovely to hear. Before we dive into kind of my last couple questions, my little lightning round at the end here, do you have anything else you'd like to say to our listeners or to share maybe about what TELUS has in store for entrepreneurs in the future?
Yeah, I would say being an entrepreneur is so brave. You need to stay the course, believe in yourself and your business. Like I said, take the opportunity to network every chance you get. Have a unique value proposition that sets you apart from everybody else. Keep learning your craft. It's not just, I've arrived and here we go. Keep learning
Hmm.
your craft. Keep getting better and be better than everybody else out there. Do a really good job. Ask for referrals and testimonials. And as a smaller business, as I mentioned, being flexible and agile, that is the superpower. So keep doing that, that sets you apart from the large organizations that maybe don't move as quick as you could move.
Amazing. So, my last couple questions before we head out. Thank you so much. And if anything, you sort of answered one of them already, but we'll swing back around. But to start, Ashifa, when you're not working with diverse suppliers and working with Telus, how do you like to sort of spend your spare time?
Wow. I
If,
like to go.
when you have it, if you have it.
I don't have a lot of spare time, but when I do, I definitely like to go to the gym. I'm really a big advocate of being active where you can. I recently started playing pickleball. I'm not very good, but I
Oh,
really
excellent.
enjoy doing that. Getting outside and doing that. Of course, I love to spend time with friends and family. And in my quiet time, I do like to read. I read a lot, and I like to watch, obviously, the Netflix shows. Once in a while, you just need a binge day to do that.
Sometimes, yeah.
You really do. And when the opportunity is there, I love to travel, to be able to get out of the city and go someplace warm, usually a beach. And that's kind of my happy place.
Excellent. Sounds, always getting out there, trying new things, and always learning and taking new sights and sounds and experiences in. So maybe this one's a little bit more about how the way you like to start your day, or maybe it's just the favorite way you can start your day. Professionals are always so busy. Sometimes we miss the most important meal of the day, but when you have your choice, your pick of the litter, what's your favorite breakfast food?
Oh, I really like, there's this apple with turkey bacon. So I love to have that with maybe eggs.
Okay.
I'll have time for breakfast. Usually it's, a coffee in the morning and then I just have an early lunch and I usually like to have salads and, proteins and things like that. But yeah, I would say turkey, bacon, and eggs is my favorite kind of go-to breakfast.
Right on. I honestly, my partner, she got me onto the turkey bacon kick. I used to only be a pork bacon guy, and maybe some pea meal, some Canadian bacon every once in a while as well. But yeah, I had never really been into turkey bacon, and I feel like I've been really won over in the last little while. So
Try
happy
the
to
apple
find a fellow turkey bacon enjoyer.
with.
And you've provided so many good pieces of advice in our conversation today. So
Good.
maybe this is almost sort of a return. Maybe it's a favorite one that you have, or maybe you've got one more to share with us. But for life or for business, what's a good piece of advice?
Hmm. Life work. Okay. I would say um, everything that you do, try to find the joy in it. Do the things that are
Okay.
right for you. Set healthy boundaries. I think that's really important. Um, I never used to set a lot of boundaries before, and I ended up paying the price for it. You burn out, you don't do so well, you're not as happy and
Hmm.
content. So I'm very protective now of my space, my time, my energy that I put out there. I really want to do what I love, and where I am right now at Telus, I love it so much, and I love the people I work with, and I have an amazing boss, and that makes me really happy, and I'm able to thrive there. But there are days when I just don't want to talk to anyone, do anything, and
We all have them
I set
sometimes.
those, yeah, and you set those boundaries because we all need to recharge, and we should find what recharges us. For me, it's being with really great friends and family that I can laugh with and enjoy time with. I have a daughter; I love spending time with her, and we'll hang out and do stuff together. So I think just boundaries are very important. Don't waste a lot of time doing things that make you unhappy because you
Mm.
really don't get that time back. So make those
All
decisions
right.
consciously.
Yeah, well, I mean that's fantastic. It makes me happy to hear that you're feeling happy and that you're thriving with your team. So wonderful, and I'm of course so happy that you joined me today. Thanks very much for being on the show today, Ashifa.
Thank you, Alex. It was
Yeah,
great.
it's been a wonderful time, and thank you to our audience so much for joining us. Empowering Equality, the show you're watching right now, is provided by the Inclusive Workplace and Supply Council of Canada, or IWSCC. We're connecting disabled owned and veteran owned businesses with opportunities across Canada. A huge thank you to Pod Supply for producing this episode, and to our sponsors, RBC and Bell. As our 2024 ASL leader, RBC helps us provide American Sign Language for our show and for all of our events. So if you're seeing this episode on YouTube, you'll see that right there. And they accomplish that with additional support from champions like Bell as well. And that interpretation that you're seeing on your screen, if you're joining us on YouTube, is provided by Maple Communications Canada. If you want to learn more about the IWSCC, you can find us at www.iwscc.ca. If you want to learn more about Telus, you can check out those links in the description. We'll provide those. So if you're a hopeful entrepreneur, check it out, get registered, find a mentor, all that fun stuff. And you'll find all those links in the description for IWSCC, for Telus. If you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did, be sure to like, subscribe, favorite, follow the show, Telus, Ashifa Jumani. Thanks so much again for joining us. Find the joy in everything you do, even if it means setting boundaries sometimes, and keep on empowering equality. And we'll see you next time.